Among other amazing things, Africa is known to be a land of great stories, stories told by passionate storytellers. In this special episode, we take a deep dive into one of the vibrant storytellers, cantor, director, actor, academic, and cultural activist who's been making waves across Ghana and beyond. Our today's guest is a senior lecturer in the Theatre Arts Department at the University of Ghana's School of Performing Arts. There, she mentors the next generation of great African performers. She also serves as a founder and CEO of Lobodo Art Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving and revitalizing Ghanaian folk arts. Her work blends poetry, music, dance, and traditional storytelling into powerful stage experiences that celebrate the nation's cultural heritage. Beyond the stage and lecture rooms, her voice continues to echo that art is the lifeline of society. She argues that when the soul of a community is neglected, the whole fabric begins to frown. By championing indigenous storytelling, she's not just preserving cultural artifacts, she's nurturing a space where young Ghanaians and Africans can see themselves reflected in the arts and feel empowered to shape their own narratives. Dear viewer, let's dive into Reverend Dr. Sarah Dorgbadzi's story.
The only hope for Africa is with us Africans. Welcome to Channel 63. This is the channel that focuses on policy and advocacy issues. Issues that to do with women and young people of our continent, Africa, particularly as it relates to Agenda 2063 and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, as we all know about it. And today we are privileged to have in our studios one of the most distinguished women of the continent, Reverend Dr. Sarah Dorgbadzi, a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana and also the CEO of Lobodo Art Foundation and also a farmer. Think about that. And we're excited to have her in this studio. Reverend Dr. Dorgbadzi is a storyteller, a cantor, a director, and an actor. What a combination. And a farmer at the same time. And today we're going to have a very interesting conversation as it relates to how storytelling can help us to develop and advance this country and to advance this continent forward. Reverend Doctor, farmer, welcome to Channel 63.
Thank you.
You know, when the research team, went looking at your background, and we found out that you were a farmer, you were a reverend doctor, and at the same time you own a company. That was baffling. So let's begin by asking, who is Reverend Dr. Sarah Dorgbadzi?
It's a very complex story.
Please, break it down for us.
Because there are many sides to it. So I will begin by the reverend side of things because this is the first title that comes. But before we get to the titles, we have to get to where we began from.
Absolutely, that will help.
Okay, so I am the fourth child of ex-WO1 Joseph Adulai Dorgbadzi, who was because he's passed now, who was not the founder, but the one who started the Church of Pentecost in Burma camp, which has now grown. I mean, single-handedly, he has planted about 13 branches of the Church of Pentecost. He was not a pastor. He was an elder. But you see, the titles are good, But at the end of the day, it is the work that counts. So I'm saying this to say that most importantly, our Father pointed us in the direction of God. And so everything, including everything I do, I understand that it is as doing it unto the Lord. So my whole life is being unto the Lord.
Interesting.
I come from Mafi, Devime. Both my mother and my father. My mother is Patience Ama Hunya Dorgbadzi. She's a very quiet person.
Is she alive?
No, she's passed
Also
in
passed.
2019.
Right.
God, peace be upon their souls. And we lived in the barracks for most of our formative years. You see, my father was born to Tete and Te Dorgbadzi, and my father's mother is called Kukusipe. You know, in those days, it was the polygamous family
Absolutely.
life.
Sure.
So my grandfather, I think, had about 5 wives. And my grandmother was not one of the favorite wives, I hear, but
It's always like that.
it's always like that. You see, God uses the simple things of the world.
Sure.
Yeah, and so growing up, my father was a very outspoken child. He says, and so he wasn't very well liked because he was in the habit of saying things as they were. Blunt. He would just say it. And you know, sometimes that can be offensive. And
Especially in our culture.
in our culture. But he will say it as he sees it. And according to him, it's only his mother that loved him. But mothers would always love.
Of course.
And then his mother passed when he was young. And he was on his own.
Right.
Help came from here, there, and everywhere. But he was on his own. But you see, my great-grandfather sent him to school so that he can be beaten very, very well because of who he was. It wasn't to go to school to get, it was to
be disciplined.
To be disciplined. And he is a very disciplined man. And he said that in Form 4, he wanted to be an administrator. So he was working towards it. The teacher said that if anyone will pass this examination, it will be Abdullah Dorgbadzi. But he's the only one who failed, as things would turn out. And here is him. He's failed his exam. His mother is passed. He's not a well-liked child. And so he was on his own. He took himself into learning a trade as a mechanic. He used to sleep in broken down vehicles, and in the evenings he would go around people's homes and pound fufu for them so that, you know, if there's any leftover, he can have a meal. So you can imagine the life was not easy. He told me there was a day he didn't get anybody's fufu to pound. In those days, he would pick up food from the, rubbish, dump and eat. That was my father. Those are my beginnings. And so he decided to go into the military so that he can get killed in battle. Because he wasn't going to commit suicide, but just throw himself away into the... This is what I remember him telling me.
Interesting.
And so he went into the military, and this is how we came to be born in the barracks. And so he used to drink. And one day he got drunk and found himself sleeping at the doorstep of a member of the Church of Pentecost. I don't remember where. But when the man opened his door, he led him to Christ.
Interesting.
And that was the beginning of the change.
Interesting.
So from there, he stopped drinking, and then he started organizing prayer meetings in his home. And this is how we all came. Because he had been through something, he knew that life was not easy. And so he was guiding and preparing us for the challenges ahead of time.
So, Doc, I mean, this is fascinating. So the question I'm asking you is this. So, am I right to say that this background of your father and perhaps your mother is what have shaped you to be where you are?
Yes.
And if you can distill one or two key principles that you picked up from your dad and your parents that have made you who you are, so that the young people who are listening to us, the youth of Ghana and Africa who are listening to us, who find themselves in certain situations that they have almost thrown in the towel thinking that they cannot make it, what can they learn from you? Share with us a few principles that you picked from them.
Okay. One of the very first things I remember, and I still remember it today, anytime I get into any situation, because when I was a child, I used to be very troublesome.
Like your dad?
We were two of a kind, and even the two of us positive and positive cannot stay together. We were clashing very often, but later in life we became the best of friends.
Interesting.
Because we knew where we were going. We understood each other. Yeah, I was very troublesome and unforgiving, and I would fight anybody. I won't let it go. And so one day my father called me and said, listen, he said it in Twi. Onipa biara ye onyankopon abode. Na oni nipa nya asɛm a tobo. Anya sa wo beti. Na wuti a onyankopon bebisa wo untumi nyi ano.
Explain that in English for our international audience.
He said that when you get into a misunderstanding or a difficult situation with another person, remember that every human being is the property of God, and that he loves everybody equally. And so if you have to take your time when dealing with people. If you don't take your time, you will make a mistake and offend God, and he will ask you, and you will not find an answer.
Interesting.
Now, another thing is, my father believes in getting things by merit. No bribing. No cutting corners. Trust in God and do the right. And he is the one who paves a way for you. Reverend, I have had some very difficult, very challenging times.
Share some of them with us, if you don't mind.
You see, I'm going to share...
I'm asking you to share these things with us because I'm looking at you today, a reverend doctor, you have your own company, you're a senior lecturer at Legon, and you're a farmer, and you are telling us you've had some difficult times. What did you make out of those difficult times?
My father was not a rich man. His highest rank in the army was WO1. He had 6 children. He was determined to see us through school. So we have you get one dress, and that's it through the year.
Wow.
You have your chalewate and your sandals to go to school. End of story. So those sandals will go to church and will go to school. Everywhere else is chalewate. In the meantime, my father himself has 1 shoe and 1 chalewate, and 1 pair of trousers and a jumper, which is 1 political suit and 1 shirt. He goes to church wearing the political suit top on the trousers, and he goes to work wearing the shirt on that trousers. So, and then there were times when it was very difficult to find food, that he will call us all and said, if anybody has any money saved up somewhere, bring it out, let me manage it, because today there's nothing.
Interesting.
We used to live in Medina New Road. My father, when he went on pension, he came and lived, he built a house. His whole pension pay, he bought land and built a house and kept us in the house. And he went and made a farm at Rees Junction, thereabout, Swan Clinic, down very far away. And on Saturdays, we would go to the farm, and we're farming cassava and maize. We will uproot the cassava when it is ready, or harvest the maize and bring them home and process. But you see, when those times came, we will harvest the cassava, peel the cassava on the farm, and wash it on the farm, carry them in basins and buckets and other forms of bowls. And we were 4 girls, but our youngest is a sister, but she was too young. At this time, I was about maybe 12 years old.
12 years.
We will carry the cassava and walk about, what is the distance now? From Swan Clinic, thereabout, to the Rees Junction place is about maybe 5 kilometers. And then from Rees Junction to some place called Meyerhot, it's right at the extreme end of that road. That was where there was the mill. So we will carry the cassava to that mill at Meyerhot. Those who are familiar with the space will know. And then from Meyerhot, we will carry across. Our house is very close to what we now call UPSA.
Okay.
Those days it was called IPS. And then we will go home. That cassava dough, some of it is what we will eat that day.
Interesting.
And if you're familiar with it, because it is still watery and not fermented, when you cook it, it is soft and very messy, kind of. But that is what we ate.
Interesting.
And we will cook the okra soup with bobby. And because the bobby was so few, we will not even remove the head, because the head is part of the protein that must be in the soup. And so we developed a saying, my sister and I, we used to say, all parts are useful.
So I guess I'm interested in knowing, so with all these difficulties, and as young as you were, what was going through your mind with respect to your future?
I was looking at my father's resilience, and I was hopeful that things will change, especially when I knew his background and how far he had come. I knew that I needed to become a better version of him. So growing up, when things were that difficult, I took to trading. My mother used to go, she was a petty trader. She used to go to places like Obom, Bodrasi, and things, and buy foodstuffs in bulk and bring to the house, and retailers will come and buy. So after the retailers have bought, my sisters and I will sell gari, we will sell maize, we will sell beans, we'll sell peanuts. We carry it and hawk it around the neighborhood. We have hawked plantain, cassava, you name it, we have sold it. And that's my mother's business. Now, on the side of my mother's business, I will go and take bread. I'll buy bread from the baker and also come and sell. I buy tarts from the baker and come and sell. And then when there's fresh corn, and my mother breaks fresh corn, I also buy like any retailer. And then I will prepare it and put it in the basket, prepare the fire and everything. As soon as we close from church, I run, come home, set the fire. By the time people finish talking and having their conversations and they are coming back, my corn is ready.
Oh, to sell.
It's ready and I'm selling. Yeah, Sundays were very good business days. People have closed from church and it's something to nibble on. I'm selling, cooked corn. And, a lot of things. I even sold charcoal. I go and buy a bag of charcoal, and I had a table. I will arrange it on the table.
And then they will buy from you.
Oh, and then they'll buy. Yeah.
So at what point, so what happened? Now you have a Reverend Doctor, a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana, not just any university, the premier university of the country. How did it all begin?
Okay. When I finished common entrance, I went to Accra Girls Secondary School on Cocoa Board scholarship. And was it Cocoa Board scholarship?
Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
Cocoa
yeah.
Board.
And I went through the process. I finished Form 5. But I couldn't make it into 6th form because of the finances. So
The scholarship, they didn't cover the A-level.
No, because Accra Girls didn't have A-level at that time, so you have to go to another school. So what happened was there was a system, unofficially put in place. The firstborn went to Form 5 and went to training college.
In your family?
In my family. The secondborn went to middle school Form 4. And
Saito.
Saito
We used to call it Saito.
Saito finished Form 4 and entered an accounting college.
City and Girls.
Rako, she used to call it, at Newtown.
Right.
Yeah. And so she was in Rako. And, then you find a footings of a sort, and then you get taken off. In fact, she was in Rako and selling shoes and working part-time at a shoe factory. I've forgotten what the shoe factory was. It's somewhere around Laboni. Not Medina. There's a place in Medina called Laboni. There was a shoe factory there, Fatco. That's the name of the factory. And she would take shoes from the Fatco factory after work and also go and sell, and all that. And she and my big brother would often go and do laborers' work at construction sites at certain times. Yes.
Interesting.
No, times have been rough, but it is by grace that we have arrived here. And so I finished Form 5 and I went to Accra Training College. Because in the training colleges, they were paying allowances. So once you get into such a place, you're off
and
the
then
family.
when you finish, your job is
secured. Yeah. And so when you finish, when you get there, you're no longer a major budget line. So that the finances will go to the next person and things like that. So we did that. And as soon as I entered Accra Training College, I started doing private teaching. I should tell you that I entered Accra Training College wearing my friend's uniform.
Interesting.
I had a friend, like a sister, Esther Jekwo, peace be upon her soul. Her father was the one who gave me the money to buy the Accra Training College application form. I used to call him Daddy. Daddy too, peace be upon him soul. And Esther, who was then in Accra Training College, gave me one of her uniforms and gave me her shoe. She was a size 6. I was size 7.5.
So how did you manage?
By grace.
Size 6, I'm thinking it should be very tight on you.
It was extremely very tight. So I started like that until the first allowance came. then I could buy myself comfortable shoes. And then also gradually another one came and I bought myself, I made myself my own school uniform, you know.
So let's fast track this thing. So you are in teacher training college, you finished teacher training college, and now you are a PhD holder, a reverend minister.
Yeah.
How did?
Yeah, so when I finished teacher training college, I realized the artistic part of me was becoming stronger and stronger. So I went to teach for 3 years, and then I qualified for study leave.
Okay.
And I took the study leave and entered University of Ghana to do a diploma, so that at the theater arts department, and it was just by grace. And then we rose through the ranks like that. And when I finished my the diploma in theater arts, the department decided to retain me because of
Your
probably
performance.
the level of my performance. And so I stayed there, and I cleanly and decently detached from Ministry of Education. So that, because by the time it got to my turn, there was no secondment anymore. So I had to close my file in Ministry of Education and be able to move to the university. And so I stayed in the university first as a research assistant, and then as a teaching assistant, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is history. Then I got into the graduate program, which is also very interesting. Dr. Ben Abdallah, peace be upon him,
I remember him
who passed
very
recently.
well, with his little beard,
Yes.
fair-colored,
Yes.
soft-spoken.
Very
At that
soft.
time, I think I was there as a president at Legon, so I used to interact with him a lot.
He passed only recently.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was his assistant. And I said to him, Dr. Abdallah, I want to join the MFA class. But if I leave the job, I can't fund it. And he said, okay, you can keep your job and register as a student. So whilst you're working, so long as my job gets done, it's fine. And so I was working and schooling in the department. And because of that, there were times when I would even sleep in the office, because I have to prepare for the office work for the next morning, and I have assignments to deliver the next day.
Interesting.
So I'll be leaving the office at about 5 a.m. because I had stayed so late that it would not be safe to be going home at that time.
Wow.
So by 5 a.m., I get up, I catch Trotro, and go home and freshen up and come. So after my MFA, then I was offered a position as a faculty member in the department. And from there, I became the first PhD candidate in the department. So I was the one the department used to start the PhD program.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
And by the grace of God, that one too went well.
Interesting.
And so
I'm listening to you, Doc, and I'm looking at today's young people that we have on the continent here. You mentioned resilience. Which other principle of value did you pick from your parents along the line?
Along the line, I knew that no matter what the situation is, God is in it. God is in control. The God factor is very important. Otherwise, you would despair. And there's no time that you will meet my father that he will not be humming a song.
What was his favorite song?
I'm going to sing it to you. It's a Ghanaian song. Mi jie loji mi le leche edani ewa. She jale mi le moko beni tamo Yesu kra. I'm getting emotional.
I don't. Please feel free.
Leno ekpe mi le na boni ehipe isho keko yole enye ekpa yemoko se. Which means that I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. The human part of you must show.
Yes, which means my deliverer and the owner of my ship or my boat, he is big and strong. And in terms of righteousness, there is none like him. He is the one who put my boat together. He built my boat. See how good it is. See how good it is. But as for the storms on the sea, it never stops at anyone. So, in spite of the fact that God built the boat, in spite of the fact that God is in every situation I find myself in, it does not mean that hard times will not come.
Interesting.
The hard times will come, but rely on the strong one who built your boat. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of hard times. You know, there's a songstress who sang a song who said, "Seman konso shemu anka minhu when you nyam irade afe na mate nyawaya." You know, if I didn't go into this challenging situation, I would never have known your grace and your love. Now I understand. So, you know, when challenging times come and you endure and you break through, it gives you the confidence at the next level so that you know that come what may, the storms will arise, but there is an end to everything. That one too shall pass. Don't give up.
You know, Doc, I'm listening to you and you say you're emotional, but I think I'm even more emotional than you, because there are a lot of things that resonate with me. My background, I didn't see my father. I used to sell all kinds of things before I got to the university, even at the university and all of that. But what concerns me most now is that it's obvious your father was a great mentor to you.
Yes,
you picked up a lot. We'll come to some of the values that you picked from him as well. But today we have a disconnect where parents are finding it difficult to even mentor their own children because of economic reasons.
Yes.
As a result, we have so many young people who don't have any, should I say, they don't have any lineage, so to speak. Yeah. They can't even speak their own dialect.
That's a pity.
There's nothing that they are picking from their parents. Does that concern you?
It is of a great concern to me.
We'll come to the storytelling bit, but what can we do about these things?
We have to find a way to engage with our young people.
How?
Even more.
How?
We need to talk to our young people. You see, the biggest
the father
problem...
leaves home. In fact, the mother and the father leave home sometimes 5:30 a.m. And the child is left to the caretaker. How do you talk to them? They come late. It
is good. But you see, let's start from the beginning.
Right.
When that child was born, everybody needs to speak their mother tongue to that child. And we must speak the mother tongue around the child when it is in conception, because they can hear us. That is when the formative years begin from. There are songs that you sing or things when that child is born, and you sing those songs when they are agitated, they calm down. Why? Because they have a certain connection with that. You see, we need to create more bonding with the children. yes, the economic reasons are dire, but we shouldn't give up our children for search for money.
Which is happening now.
The money is good, but it is not
The ultimate.
the ultimate.
Absolutely.
It is not worthier than the children God has given to us to take care of.
Interesting.
Thank you for watching part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 that drops next weekend.